What's going on YouTube DU546? I just wanted to make this post game recap, and I'm definitely feeling conflicted. First off, 7-2 is huge. 7-2 is definitely huge. I'm definitely going to celebrate that. Um, Definitely happy that we won the game 100%. And I know people love to say that somebody's being negative or somebody's being this or that, being that. But I can only call things how I see it. I can only call things how I see it. Uh, and I saw it a certain way. I mean, the thing is, like, this game should have been won very easily. This game should have been won very easily. And there's a lot of blame to go around. We ended up winning this game, as you can see, 24-16. Um, Again, this game should have been won easily. And it started off on the players in the first half with just all around terrible mistakes made. Jack Anderson, 4th and 1. The Giants run a sneak and easily get it. I'm sure we would have gotten it regardless. But Jack Anderson on 4th and 1 has a false start. That kills the drive, takes points off of the board. Not only killed the drive, but also put us out of field goal range. Um, Galladay coming across the middle of the field. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Galladay coming across the middle of the field tries to body catch a drag route. Like, if there's any route that you're not going to body catch on, it's a drag route. You want to catch the ball, put your hands out, catch the ball, run with the ball. Uh, Bad drop by him. A couple of other misplays where we're just like, what's going on? Like, I don't get it. And I'm looking at this Denver game. This is awful. But yeah, just some bad plays all around in the first half by players. Then you go to the second half and you realize, hey, Saquon has like what 16 carries. Like Saquon has like 16, 17 carries already. And guess what? He ended up having about 35, 34 carries, something like that. And it's just like, let me pull up Daniel Jones' stats. And this isn't like, oh, we need to pad the stats. That's not what I'm saying. I got to pull up the stats right here because I want you all to see just how little resistance we had throwing the ball. So Daniel Jones was 13 for 17. We only threw the ball 17 times, 197 yards. That's 11 yards, 11.6 yards per throw. 2 touchdowns, 153.3. You realize the best quarterback rating you can have is 158.3, and we had 153.3. And like I said, I'm glancing at this, and Russell Wilson just threw the game, losing an interception. But it's just like the best quarterback rating you can have is 158.3, and we had 153.3. So I feel like we should have thrown the ball about 10 more times this game. Um, we basically killed the clock the entire fourth quarter. We basically just ran the clock out the entire fourth quarter. Um, Slayton 95 yards, no resistance in the passing game, no resistance at all. Like no resistance at all in the passing game. Saquon, I will shout him out. Listen, 4.3 yards a carry, had a couple of long distance runs, 152 yards rushing, receiving he had 8 yards, so 160 total yards. Great game from Saquon, and I don't want to take away from the fact that we won, but it got dicey at the end of this game. It got dicey 100% at the end of this game, and it shouldn't have had to be dicey. We should have been able to easily go out, put up about 35 points, and sit back and coast most of this fourth quarter. Because once you have a team kicking an onside kick, and if they get that onside kick, a Hail Mary wins, that means that you weren't as comfortable as you were when you were sitting there running the ball 4 or 5 times in a row. Yes, Saquon was getting big runs. I understand that. Yes, he was doing that. But also, we were putting 3rd and 12s, 3rd and 14s, 3rd and 15s, 2nd and 11s, 2nd and 12s, because you're running it 5 times in a row. And when you're running it that many times in a row, this is the NFL. You're not going to be able to just run the ball every play. This isn't high school or college. It's the NFL. So that's really it. I mean, Dable today completely lost it on the sideline after those false starts and the drops. The only thing I'll say about Dable is like at some point you kind of got to reel yourself back in because he's yelling at the players, and yes, you want to see like him holding them accountable. But once you're yelling at the players and it's 5 minutes past and you're still yelling at the players over a play that happened in real time like 10, 15 minutes ago, you got to move past that and you got to coach the game. Other than that, I really feel like this is a game that the talent, we just had a better team than them on offense. And that's just pretty much how we won this game. Because as far as coaching goes, we did a lot to lose this game coaching wise today. I was not happy with the coaching overall. Defense, even the defense allowed them to go down the field over and over again. They could not throw it straight up against us. So the check downs were there all day. We consistently left the check downs open. We consistently let them throw screen plays, and we didn't adjust to that. So it seems like they came out of the bye week really rusty, or they just had a completely different game plan. It's like they saw that running backs did well against these teams, this Houston Texans team, and it's like they just came out and said we're going to run the ball 40 times, or we're going to run the ball 35, 40 times. And it was just like that's what they were going to do regardless. Like a couple of weeks ago, Dable said the number he wanted to get to was 40. It was like we're going to do that regardless, instead of just saying like we're running the ball, yes, but we're also able to throw the ball, and we can use this interchangeably, and we can keep them off balance so we can score every time we touch the ball, because that should be the goal. Is scoring every time you win the ball, so you have the best chance possible to win the game. And I just think a couple of times we were so fixated on making sure we got to a certain number of rushes that we weren't worried about scoring, which I think should be the end goal at the end of every drive, unless obviously it's something where the game is so close where you need not to score. But that's it. I'm going to voice my opinion on this. Some people might not like it. Some people might just want me to just put on rose-colored glasses and just say like, and do backflips and say hip hip hooray. But I gotta call stuff out when I see it. This is the worst team in the league. And I'm not saying we need to score 40, but I'm saying we need to put our players in the best position possible to score every time they go out there on offense and touch the ball. Other than that, the good stuff. I'll get to the good stuff. Darius Slayton really showed up and showed out for us. Darius Slayton made a ton of big plays. That play where Daniel Jones was fading away, got the ball to Darius Slayton. He made like 3 or 4 people miss and just accelerated down the sideline. That's the type of playmaking we need. That's definitely the type of playmaking we need. I already talked about Saquon. Daniel Jones, of course, as I mentioned earlier, had a great game. I wish he would have gotten some more opportunities because he didn't really make any mistakes. He was making plays all over the field when he did get to throw the ball. Only completed 13 passes. The defense, yes, they gave up a ton of yards, but the defense also, forced some key turnovers. I think one forced fumble, an interception, especially in the red zone. Those were huge, and I think after both of those turnovers, the Giants' offense should have done a better job of saying like, "Hey, we got the ball back. We can put this game away," instead of just saying, "Let's run the clock out." But the Giants' defense definitely stood up at some spots, but they kind of folded in some spots too. Other than that, like I said, what stands out is Saquon, Daniel Jones, and Darius Slayton, and they just hopefully they can keep going. Shout out to Isaiah Hodgins. He had a couple of nice plays. I mean, you love to see that. Just picked him up. He's already making plays for us. And shout out to Lawrence Cager getting his first touchdown as a Giant. I'm pretty sure this is his first touchdown in the NFL. So I would say good win, but I'll say solid win. We could have done a lot better, but good to win these games where we coached this bad, because I know the coaching will get better as we go along. I was kind of satisfied to see us try to throw the ball at the end of the first half, but yeah, we got to do better, guys. But 7-2 is beautiful. This is the worst team in the league, so we can't get away with doing this stuff against better teams with better quarterbacks and better offenses. Um, I'll take it. Hopefully Dallas loses and we go back to second place. we're in it. We're in it, guys. I mean, next week we got, not sure who we got next week, but it's not. I think we got Detroit next week, and then Dallas. So winnable games coming up. Besides Dallas, I guess that's a winnable game, but not an easy game. Um, let's go out and keep winning. Let's go.